the origins of totalitarianism. What does Hannah Arendt argue in this very big book? So some of the key things she argues, there's lots and lots of arguments in there. It's a very complicated book, but some of the key things, as she says, mass society, the alienation of individuals from some traditional communities. So, for instance, urbanization. People used to live in relatively tight-knit villages, and then over the course of the emergence of massive cities, people lost, she thinks, some small communities, decline in things like people going to church, being a member of a specific church. These kind of things, she says, made individuals sort of lonely but never alone. I suppose they're almost lost in these massive companies and these massive cities, where they're losing some sort of sense of belonging and some sense of shared norms that people might have. So that relates also to the disintegration of certain social and political structures, even, for instance, class. So Hannah Arendt thought that class helped in some ways prevent totalitarianism, present the idea of the fact that the state should have total control over everyone, of everyone's minds. So she essentially thinks this totalitarianism, which does refer to the state, it's different from fascism because it refers to the state wanting to control everything in the state, the economy, the people's ideas, the religion. And she thinks that's quite a modern thing. In the past, for instance, the church would have more or less, in Europe, the church would more or less have control over spiritual things. Whereas she thinks in totalitarianism, the Nazis had control over that. They had control over everything. And that's what she's interested in. She also thought that imperialism normalized violence, and that totalitarianism relies on violence. So that these European countries in which totalitarianism emerged had done horrifically violent things around the world, Germany and Africa, for instance. And then these sort of soldiers or previously normal people came home having witnessed horrific things, traumatized, and therefore already thought that violence and treating people as objects was in some way a sort of normal thing.